Hey, back again. Today's video is going to be about deja vu versus Mandela. What's the difference? Big difference. Alright, so we'll start with deja vu. Deja vu in French means to have already seen. That's what it means. So it's a feeling of familiarity where you think you've experienced it when you actually didn't, but they make you believe that you haven't experienced it, but you're about to. It's because you've already lived it before. Bottom line, you've already done it. So that's the difference, But when you get that feeling that you've lived it already, be very careful. I'm giving you a cautionary. The reason I say this is because when the Matrix changes something on you, all right, you got to be aware of that, because sometimes it might be for the better and sometimes it might be for the challenge. I'll give you an example. When I was working in the kitchen, I was the line supervisor slash cook, chef, whatever you want. And I had an experience where I had many experiences, but to give this example, this is one of them that's kind of like, all right. So there was a grill cook. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not sure if you can do that here, but we're at which restaurant. So we're cooking away. I was expediting, and the server had a special request. So she brought the feta cheese for an omelet and explained what she needed. So I explained at the time to the cook that what I needed. And then so we went through the whole process, made it. I said, here's the cheese to him. I put it down so he could be using it. And then all of a sudden I felt this weird sensation. And then the server came again and said, oh, here's the cheese and this is the special request. What? Imagine. I'm thinking, did I lose it? What the heck? We just did it. And yet the other cheese was gone. So it's kind of things like that that you gotta be mindful of, because not that it was a bad thing, wasn't that at all this time, but yeah, pretty weird. Another time it was hectic because it was a very fast-paced restaurant and very huge and busy all the time. So once again, it was like fast-paced, yelling, screaming. Everybody's like, on the high, the adrenaline is rushing because the line's just crazy, going crazy from being busy. And so I had once again that I did this whole frame of whatever, like whatever you want to call it, frame to frame to frame, was what we're experiencing, frame by frame, like a movie theater, right? Your movie's playing, but it's frame by frame by frame. So all of a sudden I felt like I just did this, I just said that, and then chaos started. It went bad. So I should have known at the time to take a deep breath, step back, and know that It could have went either way. Of course, it went to the negative side. It was a little bit crazy, and of course, you lose your mind trying to keep track of what, order and who's who. They're yelling at you. They're this, they're that. You're trying to get the cook's attention, but it's too loud to do anything for them to hear you, and it went bad. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to relive it because I don't want to go in the past, but it's things like that you got to be careful with deja vu. In fact, even in the movie The Matrix, when the cat scene, and then they changed everything, right? They blocked all the windows so there was nowhere to escape. So sometimes you get trapped with these things. So yeah, so be aware. Be aware with that. Stay in your moment, as hard as it is. I've said it before, and I know it's hard. It's very hard to stay in the moment. But you gotta try. Like, I try my best, particularly now because of certain events coming. So that's deja vu. Now, Mandela is when something has changed. A name of a product, a name of a movie. I'm not going to say specifics for food, but, we'll say the peanut butter brand. Take a look at what it used to say and what it says now. Cereal, again, I'm not going to say the names to promote or whatever. I don't think it's allowed here. But certain cereal used to have one way of saying it. Now they have a different way of saying it. One particular had an ocular and one doesn't. If you're, Generation X, as they call it. We're not that. We're source players, but I'm just going by what the Matrix says. So certain things like that, a lot of changes. Like, there was a movie I watched. It was called The Seven Sisters. And then when I went to search for it anymore, I couldn't find it anymore, excuse me. And it was called What Happened to Monday. Or one way or the other. It was like two titles. They're still both floating around, but for some reason, it's changed. Stuff like that, or certain action, in the 80s movies, a lot of spaceships and that. The I Am Your Father thing. All been changed. And the actor himself said, I didn't say that. But yet, it says that in the movie. Go figure, eh? Or maybe you get up one day and you open the door to go to work or school or whatever it is you're doing, shopping, and you realize, where'd that come from? That was not there. Or what happened to that building is not there any longer. So imagine, it plays havoc on your mind. Or they may have been these giant boulder rocks, or they're there and one day they're not, or one day they're not and they should have been there. That's what Mandela effect is. To have experienced something, but then it got removed. It's like the movie The Butterfly Effect. Watch it if you haven't. Kind of like mind-blowing, but these are the type of things that they do. And while we're on the subject of movies, sometimes they make cheap quality movies, all right? And this is just my opinion. That's not maybe factual, it's not maybe, I'm just saying, for me, certain movies that put out the truth in the Matrix are cheap quality. Why is that? Well, they don't want you to watch it. They want you to get bored of it and say, oh, this sucks, this is cheap. And then you don't watch it. And you lose out on the information. Just push yourself to watch it. I'm not saying all good movies like The Matrix, that was amazing. For the time frame they did this, it was good quality. And other movies, you know, Inception, that was good quality. There's like, it's endless with the Matrix movies, but sometimes, especially now, with all the actors moving on in their life and, you know, looking for new actors and actresses, they're kind of cheesy, cheap, and it's very easy to not want to watch it. So if you do come across a movie like that, just push through it, say this is beneficial for the information in it, you know. So that's the difference between the two. That's what this video is about. I mean, you can research all this, of course. It's all there, all the information. But I bet you that a lot of yous have already experienced this. Now for myself, as I said, I experienced it as well. But since I broke my script, and what does that mean? Well, everybody here in the Matrix is scripted. Now, to unscript yourself and create your own script, your blank page to start your day, in the moment, in order to do that, you need to break your script. And how do you do that? Well, you stop doing the low frequency things first of all, especially the meat, the orgasm. Those two are huge. The drinking, that's huge. Now, I'm not talking about like you have one drink once a week or that type of thing. I'm talking about getting ripped, slashed beyond comprehension. Because the entities will take over. You ever have blackouts? Well, that's them entering you, your game, and taking over your vehicle, your avatar. Just is. I've experienced it, man. And when you can't remember, that's why they call it blackouts. And then you find out, oh my God, what a night. You don't even remember. Because they took over and they had a ball. Let me tell you, they had a ball with your vehicle, your avatar. But you live and learn. And then when you find out who you are in this matrix, you start to realize, maybe I shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. As well as with eating flesh. I said it before, it's not going to benefit you. In fact, it's going to counter benefit you in a big way. For one, now again, my opinion, this is just how I feel. What right do we have to take life away from another? You know, it's the thing with the pets, you know, the dogs, the cats, the birds, and whatever animals. They wouldn't eat them. Because they're part of your family, that means you wouldn't eat them. Well, other animals have families too. They hurt. You know, when I see these videos where they're stealing the babies from the cows, they just had their baby and they stole them and put them in a truck or whatever, and the cow's chasing the vehicle. I mean, how sad is that? Really? This is what humans have become. Sad. But I'm not here to put guilt. I'm not here to blame or criticize or judge you. If you want to eat, eat. But there's a price. Let me tell you, there's a price. It's animalistic. Animals eat animals, not humans eat animals. But they wanted you to do this because you would never find out who you are. Now think about it along those lines. You know, I always hear, well, God put the animals here for us to eat. Well, first of all, that's easy to clarify. There's nobody outside of yourself. Ever. I don't care who's is prince of whatever. There's nobody outside yourself. Therefore, there cannot be anything governing outside yourself. It's all within. A little bit off tangent, but once again, kind of fits what I'm trying to say here. But the whole, as a whole in the matrix, everything is within you, including these deja vus and Mandelas. They're put there for a reason. You know, and I see a lot of videos going back to the deja vu and Mandela. You see a lot of videos, you know, there's animals just frozen. Just frozen there. Or walking, but they're not moving anywhere. Those are hilarious. You know, they say they call them glitches in the matrix. Maybe. But source is perfection. All right. Now we created a demiurge to write out the game. Every player had a name, frequency name. Every player had a life script. You had no choice in whether who your parents were. They say you chose your parents. You accepted who your parents were. You accepted your name. You accepted your script. But you did not get to choose because the demiurge wrote it all out. An AI system that governs this matrix. This all fits into the Deja Vu Mandela because it's all a mind game. It's a mind job. Remember? Oh, what a mind job. What a mind game. You know, I repeat myself because there's a reason for it, because it's all in your mind. So, I just want you to keep that in mind. But going back to breaking scripts, those lower frequencies will not allow you to break your script. After about 30 days of removing those, you'll start to get a connection. Inadvertently, you could break your script, or purposely, with intent, you could break your script. Now, I'm not going to say 30 days and you're off the hook. It takes more than that, but it's a start. Where you start, if you want to start, that's your choice. We're kind of like at that point where it's now or never. Just like that sign behind me. Now or never. Because if you don't want to bother, don't bother. That ain't going to make a difference. It will when you get back home. Your true self. It is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything because it's kind of too late for that. You know, I don't want to give you the impression you can't fix this now, but if you start right now, I mean, it's not going to hurt you to stop eating the flesh or to stop drinking. In fact, it's going to benefit you because you're going to have a better health. Don't you want that? Not just physically, but spiritually, you're going to have, I use that term loosely as well, spiritual, because spirits are spirits. Could go either way on that one. But the main goal today was to clarify the difference of the two, deja vu and Mandela effect. But all this, and the reason I'm saying all this right now is so I can tell you what I'm about to say right now. My deja vu stopped as soon as I broke my script. What? Yep, they stopped. Doesn't mean every day's perfect. Of course, they're going to challenge you in the Matrix. I mean, they're not done with you till it's over. When it's over, it's over. But for now, they're not going to leave you alone in the Matrix. They're going to try, new things, throw new things at you. Pardon me. You're just not going to be off, to the races and it's all glory. No, you're going to have challenges still, but you'll be better off by breaking your script, knowing who you are. Well, that's number one, knowing who you are. You're a Matrix Source player. In fact, while we're on that subject, I do have another channel that I'm kind of trying to get started. It's a jewelry channel. I carve things out of wax, and then I'm going to be putting them into silver. And I'm going to try and get that channel better and more consistent when I get the silver done. And then I'm going to have, I created for myself, I don't have it on hand right now, but I've created like Matrix Source Player MSP rings, pendants, and one day I might, I have it for myself, of course, and maybe I'll create some for anybody else that's interested. And it's just like initials M, S is predominantly out, and then P, so the M and P are the flatter ones, and then the S is protruding out for source, and for looks, of course. So, I'm hoping to create or open up a Etsy account at one point. Things are a little bit slow for me to do it now, but I'm, creeping up to it slowly, and then I'll integrate my, it's called Sun and Moon Silver Jewelry on YouTube, but like it's a hit and miss with me on that one. I'm gonna try and get this one going and get the effects to be better, so they're more watchable, if you will. I apologize for the ranting, but I just thought I'd put that out there. So I will leave it there, and I will just say, you can do it. If you knew my life, all hard, I was bullheaded, a drinker, like diehard drinker, man. That was life for me. I'm not gonna get into the details, but if I can do it, you can do it. There's no reason under the sun, in this case sun and moon coming, that you can't do this. Because I know you can. Because I did it. And I never thought in a million years that I would find out who I was. I knew something was wrong here. I knew something was wrong here. Or that it wasn't real. You may experience it being real. You may experience deja vu feeling real. You may experience, that's why I have a question mark under the Mandela effect, that it says your memories are real. Are they? Or are they implants? That's a whole new topic right there. We'll get into, I have a bunch of video names that I've created, and I'm just gonna fill in the blanks for you. when I do these videos. So with that being said, start now. But also be the greatest version of yourself in the now. Now. Alright, take care.